Pascal. You are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild, Haitian in the building, so original. Got the haters catching feelings. Get your hands up to the ceiling and keep them held high, cause St. Louis is ready. Forget about it, goodbye. Hold up, we just saying hi. Five somebody, rise up. Weekdays, catch us live, somebody. Let's go.
What's up, everybody? Good afternoon and welcome to the Pascal Show. Didn't think I was going to be back on so quickly, but I am back on very quickly with you guys to talk about this breaking story. I just found out about this just a second ago, and I felt like I should hop on here with the quickness and chop it up with you guys. I'm not happy about this one, y'all. I am not going to lie. I am not happy about this news. This news is not good news to me, in my personal opinion. I'm sure there's a lot of other people that feel a little bit differently about it, but I feel that this says a lot more than meets the eye. And this also says a lot with everything else that surrounds JE, GM, and Randy Andy. Those are the words I got to use for right now, unfortunately, because we live in the world that we can't use certain words on certain platforms. But you see the title down below, says what it says. Randy Andy has settled outside of court with Virginia Giuffre. This is blowing my mind. Real talk. Blowing my mind. And we got to jump into it because I'm not here for a long time, but we're here for an informative time nonetheless. This just broke about 2 hours ago. Shout out to Infinite Content for hitting me up with this, hitting me up on Twitter about this. I didn't even know until I opened up my Twitter and saw this, in my mind, my jaw dropped. Absolutely dropped. What does this mean for the future of any other person that steps forward to speak about their own experience with Randy Andy? We don't know. So we got to talk about this. This is insane. We heard everything from she would never settle outside of court, no dollar amount would ever change her mind, so on and so forth. But apparently, this goes to show to you guys, everyone's got a price. Everyone's got a number. And this one just breaks my heart and pisses me the F off. I'm really pissed. Because now it makes me feel like all of this be one damn lie. One big ruse. And it pisses me off. Yes, his name is Randy Andy. I'm calling him Randy Andy from this point on. I don't care if he settled outside of court. He settled outside of court, y'all. So we got some stuff to look into. Like I said, well, I'm not here for a long time. I got other things I got to run off and do, but I wanted to jump on and break it with you guys, break this story with the fam live. I've been enjoying these pop-up lives. You know what I'm saying? It feels better for me, okay? So if you're enjoying the random pop-up lives, please hit that like button down below. Send those likes all the way up. And be sure to hit that subscribe button. Please share this feed. Let people know about this channel. We are working our way towards 100,000 subscribers. And of course, every last one of y'all is a very special member of the family, okay? And I look forward to meeting every single last one of y'all on this show. So anyway, let's get into this, y'all. Let me get this article up here so we could talk about this. Still, I still can't believe this. I really can't believe this at all. But let's look at this, shall we? Says right here, Randy Andy settles lawsuit by JE victim, Virginia Giuffre. So we got to jump into this thing. We got to look into this story because this is just nuts. And please bear with me. I have to use different words and codes because I can't say certain names and certain words on here. So just bear with me, okay? I appreciate all y'all for being so patient and understanding. A lawsuit accusing Randy Andy of certain things with a girl while she was under the control of JE and his Robin to his Batman, GM, has been settled out of court. A court filing in New York revealed today the amount of money. That's the part I want to know. The amount of money that Andy has agreed to pay his accuser, Virginia Giuffre, to settle her claims against him was not disclosed in the filing. How convenient. We don't even know how much she is getting. We don't even know how big the check he wrote or how big that wire transfer was. You feel me? But they settled outside of court, y'all. And this is fine. Totally fine. When we've been covering and talking about this for a good long time now. And now they settle completely outside of court. And I'm telling you, this woman said, ain't nothing going to change my mind. We are going into court. Nothing's going to change my mind. But suddenly she had a change of heart. And I really wonder why. So, hasn't been disclosed in the filing, which also said that the prince will make a substantial donation to Miss Giuffre's charity in support of victims' rights. Okay. So a part of that, part of the money that she received, part of that is going to be a substantial donation to one of her charities. You see, I need to do full face here real quick. We need to talk about this. Okay? This situation is ridiculous. Just because he's going to make a substantial donation to your charity does not relieve the guilt, does not save other people's lives, does not expose other bad people that were involved with JE and GM and Randy Andy. You were supposed to use this as an opportunity to expose the wrongdoings that were happening to young people, or the young victims. All these other women that have stepped forward. Man, I'm gonna stop because I got things to say, and this angers me. This really angers me. I got things to say. I'm gonna say it in a second. I'm gonna say my piece in a second. I'm sorry. Lo siento. I apologize. All right. This just gets me riled up. And I'll explain here in a little bit. All right. A statement jointly issued by lawyers for Giuffre and the 61-year-old prince's attorneys says that Andrew, or Randy Andy, regrets his association with JE, and commends the bravery of Miss Giuffre. Let me just blow this up. I want y'all to see this BS. This is BS. This is the full thing of BS. Someone who is literally just trying to cover his tracks, going, I commend the people that have survived, and I condemn JE and GM, and I applaud Giuffre for her bravery. Her absolute bravery. That's what's going on right here. While he signs a fat ass check. Okay. Let's go back. He regrets his association with JE and commends the bravery of Miss Giuffre and other survivors in standing up for themselves and others. Okay. He pledges to demonstrate his regret for his association with JE by supporting the fight against the evils of, I can't say these words, and by supporting its victims. So suddenly, because he's settling himself outside of court, he's free. None of this is his fault anymore. No more is he tied up to the whipping post. No more is he in trouble. He good. He Gucci. He fine now. As long as he says, "Oh, I pledge to demonstrate my regret." Oh, bother. That's literally what's going on. As long as I could walk away scot-free and not feel bad about not a damn thing. Yeah. Yeah, Dory. And thank you so much for being a member for 10 months, Dory. I appreciate the love and the support. Thank you. Okay. The bombshell development came in Manhattan federal court where Randy Andy previously failed in attempts to get Giuffre's suit tossed out. And after he had been stripped of his military titles and other honorifics related to being a member of the British royal family because of his association with JE and GM. And we already covered that story, which was absolutely wild. The tentative settlement was disclosed in a letter by Giuffre's lawyer, Boyes, to Judge Lewis Kaplan to dismiss the suit, who is expected to dismiss the suit after both sides file a formal stipulation that they want to end the case. Boyes' letter said he was writing jointly with counsel for Randy Andy. Okay. Andrew denied Giuffre's allegations. So he's still doing this. He's still denying what happened 2 decades ago with Giuffre. Yes, she has said he's a horrific dancer. He sweats profusely. He was sweating all over me. Of course, he says, "Oh, I never met her. And I have a condition that I can't sweat," right? And we're going to show that photo. We see it here. You see it right down at the bottom. I'll show you the photo. Okay. Tuesday's court filings gave no indication that the son of Queen Elizabeth II had wavered in that denial. Now, here's the photo, or here's another variation. This is a copy of a copy of a copy a million times over, obviously, of this particular photo. They're saying that this has been doctored, or Randy Andy, likes to think that this never actually happened. This encounter is photoshopped, and this is a doctored photo. Okay. Which we will talk about here in a second. But the settlement will spare Randy Andy further. I don't even know that word. So, further, distance from being forced to answer questions under oath for depositions in the case and face public trial in New York that would have drawn massive media attention. So he found his way through. I don't know what happened. She could have been threatened, or he made an offer that she couldn't refuse. I always say everybody got a price. I really do believe that. Everyone's got a price. And here you go. And this man will do anything to not be brought into court to either commit perjury or to actually tell the damn truth. He doesn't want to do that. His life would be over if he did that. Okay. This deal comes less than 2 months after Ghislaine was convicted in the same courthouse of procuring girls to do certain things by JE. I can't say words, but you see it right here. An investment manager who unalived himself in a federal jail in 2019 while awaiting trial on federal, you see the words right here. Giuffre's suit alleged that she was with Randy Andy at the direction of JE and GM. So, in a letter to Kaplan, Boyes wrote, "We write jointly with counsel for the defendant to advise the court that the parties reached a settlement in principle of the above referenced action. The parties anticipate filing a stipulation of dismissal of the case within 30 days. In the interim, the parties request that the court suspend all deadlines and hold action in abeyance." So they got 30 days to write up whatever they need to do, file whatever they need to file to show that there is some sort of agreement, that there was a confirmed settlement. And if they don't, probably things will reconvene and things will go back up. But at the same time, bruh, I didn't expect this at all. This came out of nowhere. Now, I do have a little news clip that I want to show you guys as well. So let's take a look at this. Whoops. Let's try that again.
We begin this hour with that breaking news, a court filing out of Manhattan revealing just moments ago that Queen Elizabeth's younger son, Prince Andrew, is settling a sexual assault lawsuit. It was brought against him by one of the victims of Jeffrey Epstein. NBC News senior international correspondent Keir Simmons joins us now with what we have just learned. Keir, it's great to see you. Appreciate you joining us on this. What more do we know about this settlement?
Well, Yasmin, we don't know what the settlement is, and I think that's really absolutely crucial because there's going to be a lot of speculation over, if you like, who is victorious from this. We don't know because we don't know what they've agreed behind closed doors, if you like. Of course, we do know the statement that has been released, and it is fairly substantial. I'm looking down because I'm just looking at it. This is breaking news. It says that Virginia Giuffre and Prince Andrew have reached an out-of-court settlement. It says that there will be a settlement, a financial settlement that will go to a charity of Mr. Giuffre's choosing to support victims' rights. And then there's then a number of sentences that talk about Prince Andrew's regrets for his association with Jeffrey Epstein, and even going on to say that he will, looking ahead, will support charities that support survivors of sexual abuse. You'll remember that Ms. Giuffre's claim was that when she was 16, she was trafficked and sexually abused by a number of men through Jeffrey Epstein, if you like, and that one of those men included Prince Andrew. This is an outcome that was a possible outcome, but people will still be fairly stunned, Yasmin, because Prince Andrew has spent so many years fighting, in interviews with the media, which were widely panned, honestly, where he really didn't appear to do a very good job of defending himself. And even earlier this year, losing his royal patronages, his official title, he looked as if he was ready to fight in court, and now this settlement.
This is just very bad news to me. There was an opportunity to do something really profound here. There was a full opportunity to do something extremely profound here. And now we're here. Money money can be really, really great, but money can be the root of all evil as well. And this shows to me exactly that. We had an opportunity here to expose people's wrongdoings with younger people. We had an opportunity to do something to expose these bad people and get them out of the way. You got to understand, we looked at other filings and other cases that were going on. There are other John Does that were not named that were about to be exposed. There were so many other things going on that were much deeper than just Giuffre that was going to expose so much. And that could really, I mean, in my mind, get us an opportunity to expose the dark, disgusting underbelly that this world actually has. This was an opportunity. But apparently, everybody's got a price. I now know that Prince Andrew was demanding. Prince Andrew was demanding the original photo. Let me show you that photo really quick. Or this is a variation. This is a version of the photo. I mean, obviously, there's so many different ones like this one. You see what I'm saying? There's so many different versions of this particular photo. But let's look at this photo really quick. They're sitting there saying, and this is a variation. Obviously, this one's a little bit cropped in, a little bit zoomed in and all that stuff. But he was sitting here saying that this photo has been doctored. This was photoshopped. This is fake news. Fake, right? So apparently he demanded from Virginia to show him the original photo. I guess she hasn't found it or she could not find it, something like that. That's the only thing that I've known of so far. We've already heard other stories from like his somebody who is like a maid that works inside inside of his palace, you know, inside of his quarters, living quarters, basically saying how he was so terrible and so on and so forth. We already heard about how he had a large assortment of stuffed animals on his bed that have to be arranged in a specific way. And if they don't, he has a big hissy fit, that kind of stuff. We already saw all these things. Man, they were exposing everything about this dude. He got stripped of his your honor. He got stripped of his duties. He got stripped of his monies. Prince Charles is a rumor has it that Prince Charles, his own brother, is kind of trying to push him away. Doesn't want anything to do with his brother. Doesn't want anything to do with Randy Andy. This man was about to go down. And I guarantee you, he was about to do a bunch of things to get everybody to go down with him. But gotta love men with deep pockets. Gotta love people, rich people that can literally pay their problems to go away. And this is exactly what happened right here. She said herself, Miss Giuffre said herself, that she said there's no dollar that's going to make her settle. She wanted to get this man to burn. She wanted him to get buried under the prison. She wanted him to show up and be held accounted for all the bad things that he has done, period. And then all of a sudden, they settle outside of court. Oh, but no, a good portion of it is going to charity. So she can go and lay her head ever so gently on her pillow and sleep better at night because she's doing this for a charity. That doesn't change anything. What about the other victims? What about all the other women that have stepped forward and said something about what this man and other men have done? Are their stories BS now? Are their stories obsolete? Because once you settle outside of court, yes, some people will sit here and say, hey, Randy Andy, if he settles outside of court, he is clearly admitting guilt. But then some other people will sit here and go, no. When Virginia Giuffre accepted that settlement, that's her accepting that she's lying to scoop a bag. So who are we to believe anymore? That's literally what she's putting out here right now. Instead of fighting the good fight. Now, here's the thing. I'll say this too, on the other side. I mean, of course, I'm speaking out of passion. I'm upset because I was hoping to see some people brought to justice. Literally, letting it be the first thing and getting it started, right? be the snowball effect that just gets bigger and bigger, and we get all the other people, the Kevin Spaceys and the such and suches out here buried, right? But we got to look at the other side of things too, just to be fair, okay? And I got a super chat. I'll pull it up here in a second. But here's the other side. She could have been, maybe some of her accusations weren't solid enough. Maybe she was getting threatened, seriously threatened for her life, and she couldn't take the pressure. And then all of a sudden, somebody shows up saying, "Oh, on behalf of Randy Andy, we will give you $20 million if you don't proceed with this lawsuit." Maybe. And in a moment of weakness where she can't take it anymore, she goes, "Fine, let's just do this. How much?" But it's still not a great look. And the fact that the settlement, they're not even disclosing what the amount is as far as the settlement, that's some BS right there too, y'all. I ain't with it. I am not with it at all. What does this say about all the other women, even outside of this whole JEGM Randy Andy situation? What does this translate to other survivors out here that are trying to step forward and get their voices heard so that other people don't get violated the way that they did too? What does that say? There's so many people that were behind her. So many. So many. We got a super chat. Lady Justice, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. I know people say money talks, but there's a lot to consider in a SA case. You know what SA means, everybody. Seriously, I've been through it. It isn't always about money. Secrets. And that could very well be okay. And that's fair. Of course, I'm speaking out of frustration and anger because I'm sitting here saying, hey, there are people out here that are upset, right? There are people out here that were rooting for her. And here it is. I'm not trying to blame the victim. I'm not. But it does make you wonder what makes somebody want to just suddenly say, okay, you spell my last name Giu. You're like, what makes somebody go from no number is ever, not $1 is going to change my mind about this lawsuit. We are going through with this. I'm not settling outside of court. This man needs to get buried under the prison to suddenly we settled outside of court. It just seems strange to me. It just seems absolutely strange to me. Because this was bigger to me. This was bigger than just this lawsuit was a lot bigger than just on Randy Andy and Giuffre. This is something that was going to expose so much more. But like I said, I am not a victim. I'm not a survivor. Who am I to say anything, right? All I can say is I was just hoping for something better. I was hoping for something different. I was hoping to see this man come in and actually be found guilty for the actions that he has done, and for him to expose other people that were involved in that same ring that he was involved in. I was hoping for progression, not retraction. Anyway, guys, that is the show. Just wanted to do a quick 30. I'm sorry, I can't open up the phone lines or anything right now. I had to. I got other things to do, but this was a breaking story. I wanted to jump on and chop it up with you guys. Like I said, this is a really crappy end to this story. I wish there was a different result to this, but I understand. Hey, sometimes you just got to make those kind of decisions. I'm hoping that this does not deter other people from finding strength in their pursuit to finding justice. I really hope that this doesn't make somebody change their mind. But then again, I'm not in Virginia Giuffre's mind or in her body. I don't know her experience at all. All I know is that it was a terrible experience, and I wish she didn't have to live that. But I don't know. I'm hoping that we get some sort of sign of justice revolving around that whole situation, because there's so many more people that were involved in that ring that are just called John Does right now. That could really expose so much more. And I hope this does not make any person that's a victim or that is a survivor of this. I hope that doesn't make that person lose faith and not want to file or get their voice heard. Please keep talking. Please continue with your lawsuits. Let's expose these assholes. One case at a time. Anyway, it's time to get going, guys. I'm sorry I had to jump off, but got things to do. Until next time, be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. And I will see you guys very, very soon. Okay? This is the Pascal Show. Bye.